everybody, this is Bonnie, and I'm going to come to you and I'm going to show you this fun card that I made, and I'll talk about that in a minute, but I just want to talk about my up-and-coming class for next month. It's called Farmhouse Christmas. Well, not Christmas, because we are doing Farmhouse Workshop. But all the projects are not going to pertain to Christmas. But to get the workshop class for free, which is a $35 value, and then there's like extra little things you can do to even make that value a little bit more. So anyways, if you order the Farmhouse Christmas stamp set, the framelits that go with it, and if you order both of these, you get it at a discount. You get it at 10%. There's a bundle and you get it at 10%. So that's even an additional discount. And if you order this corrugated embossing folder, you order all of these 3 things and you will get my card workshop for free. And then there is going to be videos that will be exclusive to you guys. And yeah, so I hope you will stop on over to my Facebook page and join in and go to events. I'll try to put all the information up on my video so you can have that, so you can jump over there and join. I would love to have you. Great, so that's the end of my commercial. Now let's get on to the good stuff, the video. This, if you ordered the Snowflake bundle, which you still have time because that's till the end of the month. This was one of my my classes from last month, and I had several of the girls ordered the bundle, and you still have time. If you didn't jump in on that and you still want to go over and order the bundle, there's still time to go grab it. And we are going to make an additional card. I just love this set so much. I just want to take advantage of it and show you guys all the other wonderful things you can do with this card. So let's get started on how I did this card. And I'm taking Old Olive, and I'm going to stamp this up really good. Okay. And then I'm going to go, I don't know, about midway, right about here. And I'm just going to let it soak into the paper, give it a little, you know, push down. This, I think, is just a really good, elegant card. I'm really excited about it. When I did it way back when I was making the other cards, this card would have been in my kit, but I wasn't sure if people had already had the... I'm going to let this overlap a little bit with the other tree. I wasn't sure if people had the stamp set that had the Season's Greetings in it. And remember in my one of my videos that I did for the snowflake thing, I said that you needed to have this snowflake, this beautiful blizzard. I don't know why I want to flip it around. This beautiful blizzard stamp set. Because of the different sayings and different things in it. This is the stamp set that is a perfect add-on for this bundle. So if you have this bundle, because you were in my workshop, and now you need to do the other one, jump on over and grab that. Okay, we're going to set that one aside. And we're done with the Old Olive. And now I'm taking Mossy Meadow, and because this is a darker green than the Old Olive, I don't really have to wash my stamp off. It's not going to affect it, so, and it's not going to hurt my stamp pad. So there we go. And this will come out like wow green, but don't worry, it ends up not being that bad. I'm going to hand cut this out, so I kind of want it closer to the one side here. Okay. And there we go. And I am just cutting like straight up this. If you don't feel comfortable using scissors and doing this, you can use your trimmer. I I mean, I guess because I do a lot of cutting, I don't have a problem with it, but if you don't feel comfortable with doing this, by all means, get your trimmer out and do this. But I just did it really, really simple. Stay just below the snowflakes. So it looks like that. Okay. And then I'm going to take the Mossy Meadow, and I'm just going to put a little bit of ink on it. And I'm just going to sponge around the outside first, and then I'm just going to keep carrying it in. So it looks like that. And you can go darker if you want, but I think that looks pretty good. Yes, so we're done with that. Now the next part, I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you could see what I'm doing on the tree. Just got to remind myself to zoom back out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some snail and I'm going to run it right down the back side of that, just like that. And then I've got some gold thread. It comes on this spool. They have silver. I don't know what other colors they have. They used to have red and green, but I think those were like a special thing. So now we just have, it's so thin that you can't see it unless I get it right up there. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take, I don't know, about a couple arm lengths. I don't know if you can even see this thread. I just tripled and doubled it over. Let me see. Am I even in the camera? Oh, can you see that? There we go. I just tripled it 3 times. So now I'm going to cut it. So it kind of looks like this. Let me see. I feel like I'm not showing this good. Basically, I took 3 strands of thread here. I have 3 strands. See? I have 3 strands of thread. And I just put them together to give it a bigger thickness. And then I just went all the way down like that. And now I'm going to kind of twist the end of this one with my fingers a little bit, like you would if you were going to maybe thread a needle or something. And then I'm going to stick this one right here in the back. It gets a little tricky because you want to hold it tight while you're doing this, but not so tight that it ends up, you know, coming off. So I'm kind of holding it tight and I'm spinning. I'm just giving the tree like a little garland, I guess. But as I'm going around, I'm pushing the thread in the back into the back of the adhesive, and that helps hold it there. So I just kind of keep doing this until I think I've gotten enough on there and where I want it. Oh, and see, it's trying to come apart on me right down there. I don't want that to happen. And I'm trying to keep it tight, but not so tight that you don't like the way that it looks. I think I need another little piece of adhesive down there and get all the way to the bottom. So, well, yeah, that one went wonky on me. The end, I guess, is the tricky part. There we go. Let's see what the front looks like. There we go. And now I'm just going to trim up this little bit of thread here because I don't want this thread to be sticking out. And I'm going to cut a piece right here. So now I have that. And then I went ahead and I took Stampin' Dimensionals all around the outside of the Stampin' Dimensional, and I just kind of like rip it off. And then I add it on. And I go right down that sticky so that, you know, don't ruin the card from where I have so much sticky, and that kind of helps hold it. And then I'm just going to grab a couple extra little pieces of this and put it right there. so it'll kind of balance out on my card. Now let me zoom you guys back out, or otherwise I'll forget. Oops, sorry if I'm moving the camera. Like I said, I'm just learning everything. Okay, I'll zoom you guys back out, so now if I do something, I know I'm not off camera. All right, and then we're going to peel this off. I hurt my thumb. I was doing wood. We have a wood stove here. And I was burning wood, or bringing in wood, and I hit my nail on one of those, on a piece of wood. And oh, this nail is so sore, so tender to touch, or anything. My thing moved a little bit, but I think it'll still be okay. And then I put this down just a tad bit lower than the other trees. I just wanted it a little bit lower. So there we go. So I did that. And we'll set that aside. We'll get the rest of my parts here. We're going to finish up our stamping first. So I'm going to do this in embossing. I'm going to do some gold embossing on this. So I'm going to get out the Versamark. And I'm taking the Seasoned Greetings from the Beautiful Blizzard stamp set. Make sure I got this going the right way. I'm going to take this and put this right on the center. I'm going to stamp it up. Hopefully that is centered because it's a little farther away. I think it is. I think it looks pretty good. Oh, you know what? I didn't use my embossing buddy. I forget this sometimes. Before you put your Versamark down, if you take this embossing buddy, which just has like powder on it, and if you rub it over your card, all over your card, it does not let this embossing powder stick where you don't want it to stick. Hopefully I don't have an issue because I didn't cut an extra one. So then I'm going to take gold embossing powder. I love Stampin' Up's gold embossing powder. It is so pretty. And I'm sprinkling it over top of a coffee filter. I love doing this over top of a coffee filter too. Or you could do it over a piece of paper. I just find that it less cling with the... Ooh. You have to they say to heat your tool for at least 30 seconds. So you're going to hear a little bit of noise, or I may fast forward through. Isn't that cool? I just love the gold embossing. It is so cool. So, and I did get some specks on there because, see, I don't know if they're picking it up in the camera, but in person you could see those little specks because I did not run that embossing buddy over it. You want to make sure you run the embossing buddy. Now when I do my little flags, I just cut up the middle like this. I cut this way and then I cut this way. And I make my little flag and it pops out. Now if you have a square punch, you could put this in there too and it gives the same effect if you don't want to do this. Sometimes people just find it easier to, or like to use the square punch, but I find this easier and it's not perfect all the time, but I like that. I like that look. So it makes it look more homemadey to me instead of store-bought. So yeah, homemadey. I don't even know if homemadey is even a word. I think I make things up sometimes. Okay, let's get going on the rest of my card stuff here. Get the rest out of my bag so we can get this card together. We're going to take this, this is a 8.5 by 5 1/4, and we're going to, this is an 8.5 by 5 1/2. We're going to score it at 4 1/4. Forget what I'm saying. Yeah. Okay. I gotta get something to make this stay down. It moves around on me all the time. Now I have a piece of Mossy Meadow, which, like I said, I'll have all the measurements to this in the description box below. And by the way, I don't know if I mentioned this in my other videos. I have got a new camera, and I'm trying it out, and I don't know if I'm too far away from you guys. I mean, on my little screen, I look like I'm not, but when you're watching the video back, just tell me what you think. Is it okay? I don't want to, the quality of it, is it, I'm just learning. I'm learning everything. When I do the editing on it, I try to make sure, but just let me know. And then I went ahead and I just stuck this down also on top of here. This isn't a very hard card. And I mean, and if you had gold, if you didn't want to emboss, you could really whip these out if you didn't want to emboss. If you just had gold ink, you could just stamp some gold pigment ink or whatever, or do a green. But I just really thought that the gold on this really brought it out. And then I went ahead and I took some more dimensionals that I got here. And I just put one on each end, because the thing is dimensional up. And I put a little bit of sticky in the middle. And then I just laid this across the card, just like that. And these are my cards, everybody. Let me zoom in so you can get a little bit more of a look on that. For today, thanks for stopping by, everybody. Make sure you check me out over on Facebook. Hit the like, hit the subscribe